What's up, traders? What if I told you I can actually show you how to predict how the market is going to move for the entire day or for the entire week? Yes, to be able to trade with accuracy, knowing exactly the direction the market is going to take for that day or for that week. If you can check this particular this particular TikTok video which I made on Sunday before the market opened, on that video I stated clearly how the market was going to open, where the market was going to gap, how the market was going to play at the start of the week and for the entire week. All right, so before we even move into the video, let me just pause this video so that you can watch that TikTok video, and then we're going to come back and I will teach you guys step by step how you can be able to predict the market and make money with your prediction exactly like this. Just watch this. Okay, let me quickly show you what gold is going to do at the open of the market. Exactly what gold is going to do at the opening of the market and how you can trade those opportunities profitably. You might want to watch this video to the end, save it for later and share it with someone. Let's go. All right, if you can see on the 1 hour time frame, this is like one of the worst price action I saw on gold for the last week. But before the market closes on Friday, I'm just going to pick my pen up right here. The market actually closes on Friday. So this is where the market closes on Friday. Good. So based on my recent videos and also based on the turmoil going on in the market, the US and Iran tension, the war, Donald Trump here and there. So a lot has happened over the weekend. And from my analysis, from a lot of facts that I have, gold is going to be opening bullish. So we should expect gold to open somewhere here. Gold close on Friday here, we should expect gold to open here. So that distance from here to here is what they call a gap. It's just a gap in the Forex market. Don't complicate things. ICT traders will call it fair value gap. Some call it momentum jumping over the fence, blah, blah, blah. Don't confuse trading, guys. A gap is a gap. The gap is simple. The market closed on Friday here, open on Sunday here. It's simple, so we can see this gap. Good. So how do you trade this gap? All right. So this gap, the fact that this gap has opened up here means fundamentally gold is going to be bullish for the entire week. But before we go into that assumption and take a long-term trade for gold for that entire week, remember what goes up in Forex trading eventually comes down. What goes down eventually comes up. So from economics, there's something they call equilibrium in price, where price has to actually come down to form an equilibrium. I think that chart in economics is something like this. I think it's something like this. Just something like this, and then you have your demand line and your supply line, and there's this area here they used to call the equilibrium point, something like that, right? Good. So you have this price right here. So this gap has to be filled. So it's trading this gap. We have two trades we're going to take here. You have a short-term trade and a long-term trade. Your first short-term trade is going to be to fill this gap. It's going to be with the hope that this gap is going to fill. Because from screenshots you can see here, 90% of the time, my Forex career, 90% of the time, these gaps have been filled. All right, the price is going to obviously come down, fill this gap, come down to obviously where the market closes on Friday, and then boom, you will see it going down in the original overall trend of the fundamentals. So this will happen by the open of the market. I want you to wait 30 minutes to 1 hour. 30 minutes to 1 hour. Don't take the trade immediately the market is open because the spreads are going to be crazily high. 30 minutes to 1 hour, then take a set trade. Take a set trade, and remember you should be trailing your stop. Trailing your stop so that even if the original trend wants to resume, you must have already blocked in some profit. So get in an entry somewhere here, and your target should be down here where the market closes on Friday. As soon as it gets there, get out of the trade and then take a buy immediately. Take a buy somewhere here, give the trade enough room to breathe. You can put your stop loss right down here and go for the longest. This should be one of your first swing trade. Hold this for the next couple of days, and you can just be trailing your stop like maybe after every 200 pips, and trust me, this won't fail. Perfect. So as you can see on that particular video, that was on Sunday, and I predicted we're going to do a replay on my chart now so that we can see if what I predicted happens the exact way at the exact point. All right. So Is it luck? No, I don't believe on luck when it comes to trading. I believe on expertise. I believe on experience. Is it gambling? No, it wasn't gambling because I know what I was doing. I was using geopolitical events and macroeconomics events to know where the market is going to go. Was it guessing? No, I wasn't guessing because I already know from my 10 years of experience where the market is going to go based on such fundamental events. There's something you guys need to understand. When fundamentals speak, technicals listen. All right? When fundamentals speak, technicals listen. When news speak, technicals listen. So I don't care about your fair value gap, support and resistance, trend line is going up, bouncing, blah, blah. Once a fundamental comes into the market, bro, fundamentals don't respect technicals. All right? Once fundamentals speak, technicals listen. Whether your market is on a bearish trend and Donald Trump comes here and says something that is going to cause the United States economy to be bullish, your chart is going to be bullish. Irrespective of whether it was bearish or bullish, it's going to be bullish. Understand? So when fundamentals speak, technicals listen. When news speak, technicals listen. So I'm going to show you how to blend news trading into your technical trading so that you can have more points of confluences. So come with me on my computer. Let's replay step by step to see if what we predicted happens just the exact way. So come with me. I'm just going to do what we call replay trading, and let me drop this one back to, let's drop it to the 5-minute time frame, and I'm going to show you exactly the video you watched, what you saw and how the market played, right? Let's just zoom this to the 5-minute time frame. Okay, this was on Sunday right here. This was on Sunday. So let me see if we can do replay trading from here. Perfect. So that's our replay trading, and if we can drag this and put right here. If you did watch that particular video, remember, if you watch that video, what did I say? I said on that particular video that based on the war between Iran and USA, when something like that happens, there's something in Forex trading or in the Forex market we call safe haven assets and safe haven currencies. All right, understand me? Safe haven assets and safe haven currencies. Gold is a safe haven asset. So when oil start being unstable, like when US strike Iran is one of the most exporters of oil. So obviously the oil prices are going to skyrocket. They're going to be unstable. So what will investors do? What will big businesses do? They start going to safe haven asset, which is gold. So we expected gold to jump at the open of the market. And remember, just because the market is closed on Saturdays and Sunday, it doesn't mean the chart is not moving. The chart is moving, it's just that you're not seeing it. So since we already know how that's going to impact the market, we know as soon as the market opens, we're going to be expecting it to open somewhere up there, you see. So that was the reason why I predicted, and I already used my fundamentals, and I even told you guys the price is going to be opening. Not that it was magic, it's just based on experience. So this is where we close on Friday. And according to that video, if you can watch that video, I told you we're going to open exactly somewhere here on around 3394. On the video, the TikTok video you just watched, that was my prediction. What happened? We're going to do a replay so that you can see what happened. And I even told you guys how I'm going to trade it, because obviously this area is going to be called a gap. So I'm going to be trading this gap, and from my 10 years of experience, 99% or 98% of the times, I've made money from these gaps, because there's something in trading, there's something in economics called equilibrium of price, where if you have a demand curve, I'm just going to show you guys something. If you have a curve like this, the demand curve is something like this, and the supply curve is like this. So at the end of the day, price always strives to go to this equilibrium price where demand is equal to supply. All right. So when you see this instability in the market, that's why you see most of the time this gap will be filled, because that equilibrium needs to be created. It's as easy as that. So I told you guys I was going to be buying, I was going to be selling, and then I'll trade my stop until this gap is filled. I did just that. You can see on this screenshot, $10,000. That was in less than 2 hours. I already made $10,000 on this small screenshot using just this said trade alone. After that, I got in on my buy trade, which was non-trading the original direction of the news. The same thing as predicted. All right. So let me clear all of this so that we can do that replay. Okay, so we're just going to quickly continue without the replaying because I was trying to replay and I don't know why it keeps loading, but we're still going to do what we have to do without actually doing the replay, right? At least we can see how the price played out. Let's just see. This is where we close on Friday. This is where we open on Sunday, which was the exact point I predicted. And after that, what do you see? Boom, 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 boom. To the same entry point where we close on where we close on Friday. So this point alone, I already made almost about $5,000 just on almost about $10,000. You can see on the small screenshot on this small move alone. So I wasn't guessing, I wasn't gambling. I know what I was doing, and I knew this was where I was going to exit. Now let's talk about something which I did explain to you guys, that even though you're going to sell somewhere here, according to our prediction, remember, as soon as the market opened, I saw somewhere here. My stop loss was just somewhere here on around, I think I was risking about 8 pips on this particular trade, and I was going for the entry point. I was going for a risk to reward of almost about 1:2 on this particular trade. So even though I already know that I was going to be risking almost about 80 pips on this trade, and remember, at that point in time, the news gap in the opposite direction. So there's more of the buy momentum for the market to continue bullish opening of the market. So I'm going to be trailing my stop. So I advise you trade your stop. And trailing your stop is easy. As soon as the market starts going in your favor, if the market produces a swing like this and produces another reasonable swing, so my stop loss would have been brought from here to this particular point right here. Then as soon as it produces other swing, I would have brought my stop loss and put it here. Trade your stop loss manually. I would have put my stop loss here, and boom, you see. So that even if the market has to turn against me, I'll be able to exit somewhere here with almost about 80 pips. And luckily, you know, we hit our TP on both trades, almost about $10,000. So always trail your stop. Always trail your stop when you're trying to trade for a gap to refill. Because sometimes the market might come somewhere here, and then boom, you see it going against you. So if you were not trailing your stop, all of these trades here will be missing. And when it comes to trailing your stop, make sure you are giving your trade a room to breathe. You're giving your trade a room to breathe in the sense that your trailing stop is not too tight. So use the most recent swings to trade your stop until you hit your take profit. So that was that on US30. The same way as predicted, immediately after that, if I have to go on the 1 hour time frame, that was where I entered on a buy. All right. So I have to use the 1 hour time frame so that you guys can see clearly. So let me just go here. Okay, where is it again? Okay, so this was our gap somewhere here. Let me delete this so that you guys can see. This was our gap, and after that, this was where I entered on the 1 hour time frame. Stop loss was here. I was going for a risk to reward, and obviously a risk to reward of 1:2. I was triggered take profit on this particular trade. I think if you guys were following me on Instagram, you must have seen this particular trade which I took. So my entry was, I think when we pulled back right here, I was risking almost about 70 pips on this trade, and I was going for a risk to reward of 1:2. So I got out of this trade very early before it even started retracing against me. So that was that for gold, the buy and the sell trade, which I did predicted, and I told you guys when I was going to be doing that. Let's go to NASDAQ. I told you guys NASDAQ was going to be gapping down, and boom, you can see what happened. Look at where NASDAQ opened. This is where NASDAQ closed on Friday. NASDAQ closed on Friday somewhere here. Look at where it opens on Sunday. The whole of this is the gapping down I predicted. Remember I said US30 was going to gap down. NASDAQ was also going to gap down. If I go on US30, you can see the same thing. We close here, open here. We close on Friday here, open here. The whole of this was a gap, which as soon as it opened, if I would have entered on a buy here, and let me just show you guys. If we would have entered on a buy here, stop loss just here. Remember, stop loss goes below where the market opened. I'm going for a risk to reward of 1:2, or putting your take profit where the market closes on Friday. You would have make a risk to reward of almost 1:3.5 on this particular trade. The same way as predicted. The same thing for US30 or for US100, which is NASDAQ. If you would have entered on a buy, let's just say long position, as soon as the market opens somewhere there, stop loss goes here, and you are going for the entry price, you would have made a risk to reward of 1:4 on this particular trade. You just need those few trades, one on US30, one on US100, one on gold, and you're done for the entire week. For this whole week, I've just been so relaxed because I already traded all those market fees, the same as explained. So it's not magic. You guys need to always understand when fundamentals speak, technicals listen. When you speak, technicals listen. Trading is not all just about drawing line on your chart. Yes, you can use technicals to be able to look for your entries, your exit. You can use technicals to be able to know where to put your target, but always know how to blend fundamentals. Always know how to blend geopolitical events. Always know how to blend macroeconomic events into your trading and how they're going to affect that particular asset you are trading. When you are trading an asset, you're not just a gambler, you're a speculator. And fundamental factors is going to help you to be a good speculator. So make sure you always blend fundamentals into technical trading. Always blend fundamentals and technicals to be able to get good points of confluences when it comes to trading. And my YouTube channel is there. I have tons upon tons of videos on this channel alone teaching you guys how you can blend fundamentals with technicals and make money in the Forex market. There's sometimes you just see me, I'll open my phone and just press buy or sell without even looking where the market is going. It's not like I'm guessing, or it's not like I'm trading without knowing what I already know fundamentally where the market is going to be going. And from my experience, I've already seen how the market reacts to that particular news event. So blending news events, blending fundamentals to your trading, trust me, if you're someone who wants to do this for the long term, start seeing it like an investor. Start seeing trading like an investor. Start seeing trading like someone who wants to still be here 5 years to come, 10 years to come, and do the right thing. All right, just using your trend line or your ICT and without blending fundamentals, you're not going to go far. So let me know if you have any questions for me on the comment section. Let me know if you follow my advice, the advice I gave on TikTok. Let me know if you watched that particular video and you follow that particular advice. And it wasn't only on TikTok. I also did a long form video on YouTube explaining the same thing, just to show you guys how I wanted us all to make money beginning of the week. So let me know if you follow that advice. Let me know which of the trades you took. Let me know how much you made. Let me know if you have any question for me on the comment section. Let me know if you have any challenge in Forex trading in general. I'm here because of you guys. We are almost 700,000 subscribers in YouTube because of you guys. So let me know any challenge you have, and I promise I'm going to reply to each and every comment on this particular video. If you want me to mentor you one-on-one in Godlove University, you can see this particular screenshot. We've crushed it this week because we were just following the same thing I predicted. And remember, the fact that I did this on YouTube means I was going to do the same thing in Godlove University. You can see this lady just got her payout. This is a student in Godlove University, and you can read from the testimonial. She is just saying, follow the techniques in Godlove University and the strategies in Godlove Universities because they do work. So do you want to be someone with the testimonials like this, or someone who is just watching from the sideline and making excuses? So if you want me to mentor you one-on-one, make sure you check out Godlove University and I'll be able to enroll you there. Petrex Pro is one robot that can also trade during fundamentals like a pro. You can use it on your private account or your prop firm account. So check the link below to also get Petrex Pro. Make sure you are using my recommended brokers. Make sure you're using my recommended brokers. That will be able to pay you once you made this money. So if you want to use my recommended brokers, also check the link on the video description to use those brokers. And my free Telegram community is there. I share a lot of info on my free Telegram community. Make sure you are in that community. And as always, I will see you guys on these other videos. Peace.